Alright, I might need your assistance in getting this to, because you know it's like a face cam, so I want to be able to put the face cam, you know.
Okay.
Oh wait, I got it. Here we go. We need it on. We need the light on. That's the. Caught yourself dancing and dance to your own music. Caught yourself dancing, you could dance to your own music. Is that the where?
Shane Philadelphia. Enhana in a dance class every Tuesday, every Thursday. Tuesdays, rocking with what you just saw. African cardio from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Check-in is 12:30. Come in, have some tea before class. Class starts at 1 p.m. every Tuesday. Thursday, we have our room therapy session. Bring your waist beads. Your waist beads, and your shirt, or a scarf, you'll tie around. We're gonna work that room. It's at 5:15. Every single Thursday at half
Well, as you can see, that was the first production on the public access program. That was the first production on the public access program. When it started, it immediately got into high intensity, and there was a lot of groundwork. So it's essentially that video, it starts real upper, real hype, and then it gets technical on the bottom. It gets technical on the bottom of, that routine from OG Spirit and Enhansoul. We're going to go to the next public access program. This is Rbgfest, R5, the 5th annual Rbgfest, the gateway into the 5th dimension. Sometimes I say it's a journey into the 5th dimension. I've been very vocal about Enhansoul having a full-time schedule and or regime surrounding changing women's lives with dancing. So we're going to get into the next program now. It's about to come up. It's coming. How did I have it? There it is.
That's the first one.
Yes.
Shout the brothers I am. Rbgfest, here for you and yours. As we do, we gon' rock. What up, doggy? In the park, later on, big jam session, Malcolm X, Park, 4 p.m. You got your art, you got your talent. I got you with some photo, I got you with some video. We got beats for days. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to hang around for Enhansoul in a matter of a few minutes. Real straight. I mean, I know they told us what 12, but we don't like black people time, so you know what I mean? Like we wanted to start a little early. Late, however you shoot. You know what I'm saying? Hit this joint, I gotta get the other joint. Empowers us to speak to people, so stop making it your conscience just because you listen to a little bit of comment and talent public, because they making books at the same rate that they make CDs, but you don't want to read, oh no, you'd rather be a rapper. Well, I pray you go forward. So that way you, the gold rapper and the condom and the gold rapper can have more in common than just the gold rapper, you gold. And you soda and water and news like this. Thank you very much. In a little tent, and all just like the river I've been running. Every day, it's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, I can't wait. And hold on you. Last time my buddies met, your soul told me to. Last time my buddies met, I'm so sad of divine conversation. No, we on the line, little weed and some wine. There wasn't anything but sensation. You can talk about it, but will you act? No. You should think about it. Just relax. So, don't you wanna feel like it what we have done before? Now we're going to let. just so good at makeup. When someone missed a shot, when nothing matters at all. My life on the line, side by side with love and basketball. A beautiful light shit.
That was the second program on this Enhana Fitness Lifestyle Public Access. For the next 20 or so minutes, that was the origin, the original Rbgfest. 2 shows happened 4 years ago. 2 shows that we had and we brought. And you saw what the very first show was looking like. You're here with Rbgfest R5, the 5th annual Rbgfest, a journey to the 5th dimension, the 11/11 show from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And we're going to find some more programming that is congruent with the Enhana fitness lifestyle, as well as how to show you guys the various channels in which we have been thinking and contemplating bringing you these matters. I want to thank Brick the Lyricist for just checking in on the engagement. All right, here's our next one, guys. And I think I want to be a little visual with it in terms of there's a speech directed by Enhansoul. ESO TV presentation, Iron Mike TV. ESO, look for them online. That's IPWZ. This is the EYENEE. That's A&E, Iron and Enhansoul. Co-directed for me here today. Black State of Address in one of my direct Facebook group, Iron Direct. There's a speech of a black state, likely from some kind of socially conscious blogger, video person, people that speak on the state of things just because they're deemed appealing. I gathered that this take was from Umar and our current events and new African movements, Pan-Africanism, the whole nine. And we get a lot of rap about it's especially a black economic war. The card was first pulled with Obama being a Hawaiian or a Kenyan or not a real citizen and so on and so forth. It's like there's so many systemic media tactics in which black credibility is lauded, not protected or respected with the integrity. Some of those things that you don't attack the immigrant communities, legal, illegal, foreign refugees, or otherwise. Asians that have concentrated networks of their own, albeit legal and illegal activities. So it definitely is a supremacist, finger pointing of, black figures against the grain who fall under that, oh yeah, show me your white ordained certificate of institutionalization. Let me know what kind of school you went to. Allow me to have the discretion to approve it for you. Oh, it's not. Much was said for this note. Once again, it can be found in Iron Direct about the character of Roland Martin. The significance of Roland Martin is that the world under the ire of
oppression by or oppressed people will always feel that there's an opportunistic chance of media, position, and enterprise in finding a neutrally complacent face. No one ever asked why characters like Roland Martin, Black news personalities, all happen to speak in a similar undertone. The Good Morning Americas of the world, safe talkers, to fit liberal tongues within, those agendas. The crass way to look at it is to call it Mr. Roland Martin is a puppet. And, the other way to look at it is to believe that a man is compliant in doing the job that he has set out to do as long as he is approved and to be safe enough to represent an affirmative action and or diversity by the higher agenda. But, no one of those characters, Black news anchors, media personalities, they never get to speak under their culturally embedded issues. They only get to speak on what is chosen, teleprompted, written by the productions and staff. And so it's a touchy topic for what people could see. We're in this era of sensitivity by the desensitization of, technology, high tech, low pay. Our technology just really bringing us out. And, there comes to be that sensibility of everyone or a set host of people who want to feel inclusive. And the inclusive demographic in a woman's liberation currently in a gay political agenda is the fitting place of Black homosexuals, gays, lesbians, questionable transgenders within the entire community. To kill, as Umar is putting in his words, is exactly the way it is right, because the man and the man do not procreate to make other life that extends generational lineage, nor does a woman being with a woman do that. I would personally recommend that, especially for our homosexual community, Blacks, Africans of the diaspora, that to really understand where gay agendas have come from, the way they have pervaded, to know, even the glaring obvious things of, my local gay nightclub scene of just cases and references being racially disposed of, for your honest money, the footage of, these, white hierarch gays that, get caught calling, the Black patrons nigger and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's a two-battled front. It's a battle of the patriarchal man in question, tossing their children out or through that culture which takes them in, but that is the very culture that they're still a member of the underbelly of, because Black man, Black woman, you are not the face of what the equality marriage is at the forefront. You are not within the advocacy groups of the rich gays portrayed in stuff like Modern Family who happen to have Asian adopted babies and things like that, So, I mean, even if you sat there in reversed privilege to where you did account for the generation by being a gay Black household who would take in an adopted child, such as, so many of our families broken by the family structures, step homes, step parents, foster parents, Black kids that never get picked up, put in group homes and everything like that. Go ahead and get some of them. Or if you're going to be gay, and it's all the power to you as a proponent of me believing that, you can sit there to love what you're going to love, you got to realize what's on the forefront of it. So go out there and get you some Asian babies, and get you some kids, and understand what the significance of life is, albeit outside of your sexual preference. But you can't say that shit doesn't stink when it smells, and if you're not making life, well, you're hard to stay ahead of the population genes. And I'm very fitted in my position. New African, so laid the vampire of the RBG movement. I don't deserve anything. You know what I mean? I don't deserve anything. You don't have to give me nothing at all, or whatever like that. And so I'm just grateful for the chances, the opportunities, the brothers and sisters that I've been able to work with. But even I recognize how post-Korean War, that is when there started to be an interracial boom of things within the country. So we're gonna get more into that in that broadcast, part two. Another time. We just have a few more topics to deal with in the Black State of Address, co-signed by Yes So TV. My wife, Enhansoul, behind the camera, co-directed. This has been Iron Mike. And hashtag it's Iron. This is Iron Mike TV. I'm out.
Yeah. I had no idea that I was covering multiple spectrums, topics, and actually dealing with that Rbgfest R5, the 5th annual Rbgfest, A Journey to the Fifth Dimension recap. Pretty impressive. Covered a lot of different African demographics there in that speech. And I just wanted to close out in saying that there was one topic I did zero in on during that speech, and it was the matter of when I mentioned same-sex people that don't have babies. As you saw, I got into the alternative about the adoptions. That's mostly relative. That entire subject is mostly relative to, the social engineering of mass murder in every city is the only way to really keep up with the negativity. The only way to beat the negativity is to put new life, new blood, new spirits onto the earth itself. And I hope that I've cleared that up for people. And, I hope you all found that speech as broad as I have.